Well, good evening, race fans. We come at you live here tonight from Nashville Super Speedway, and it is In the Zone Racing ARCA Series, brought to you tonight by Intensity Broadcasting. I am your commentator, Jacob Shangle, along for the call. And tonight is a special night, as this is the regular season finale. And tonight's race is being brought to you by Sigma, a NASCAR Racing 2003 community, as it is the final cut to the playoffs here at Nashville tonight. And so a lot of drivers, they will be looking to try and get that win here tonight. It's going to mean a lot to get the win and you're in, or at least get into the top 12 in points and point your way through. Some of those drivers that are going to be on the bubble here tonight. Include the likes of Corey Bigley, who's ninth in points, but has been consistent without a win so far this season. He could break through and win just about any given week, so keep your eye out on Corey Bigley. As I am scanning, it looks like he's 10th in practice so far, so practice is not necessarily indicative of how they will run in the race, but so far 10th fastest, top 10 speed here in practice today. Other drivers such as Dylan Schreiner and Tyler Rice, they're 10th and 11th in points. Matthew Barkhouse and Daniel Pope II are tied for 12th. So I might have to get some more details on tiebreaker scenarios. I'm sure they'll look at whoever finishes highest here tonight in a tiebreaker, that the race tonight will decide it. But that's just me simply guessing right there, so. So far, fastest in practice is Kiernan Church from Mesa, Arizona. He's been showing some speed lately. He was started up front in the last race. Unfortunately, kind of fell backwards during the race. But maybe Kiernan Church trying to get primed and ready for the playoffs here. Everyone, however, is going to be hunting down this man right here, Dylan Bates, your points leader. As I go ahead and pull up the point standings. Yeah, Dylan Bates with, surprisingly enough, only one win on the season in 7 starts. But it's been good enough because he's had 7 top 5 finishes in his 7 starts. So he is yet to finish outside the top 5 this season. We're watching Jacob Boehm get alongside the 75 of Mike Alexander. Mike Alexander is sitting pretty steady in the points. He's up to 5th already with 2 wins on the season. From Cole Harbor, Nova Scotia. Looks to be maybe our lone Canadian in the field here tonight. He's always out there running at the front, so it'll be fun to watch him here tonight. We are down to just 10 minutes left in practice here. One of the dark horses that had a little spotlight on the Facebook page, Tyler Rice from Cherokee, Oklahoma. He sits 11th in the points. He's got 0 wins, 0 top 5s, and 2 top 10s. It's the consistency, I think, that's gotten him up to 11th in the points so far. And with another race on the line here tonight, if he could somehow at least get a top 10, he might be sitting pretty. Field looking a little bit lighter here tonight than the last couple weeks. Looks like we're down to 26 cars racing here at Nashville tonight. Right now we've got the spotlight on David Hill there in the number 3. Currently, David Hill sits '18th in the points. He hasn't been able to muster a top 5 yet this season. He's gotten 1 top 10. He's been in 6 of the 7 races. What's crazy is Peyton Howell started like gangbusters at the start of the year. Started all 4 of the first 4 races, won half of them. Had 2 wins and 4 starts. Should have had more. Got taken out in the lead on, I think, a couple occasions. And perhaps some partial, I mean, I don't know. I haven't done the journalism to find out, but something probably has to do with the way those races played out as to why he hasn't shown up for the last couple of races. But who am I to who am I to guesstimate on that? As we are down to the final 6 minutes here in practice. Nashville looking like it's going to set us up for a great race here tonight. Kieran Church, Dylan Bates tied for the fastest lap here in practice. You might not have to look very far from there as to who could set the pole here tonight. Both those drivers have started pole position this season on at least one occasion. Well, it looks like 26 cars is what we've got here in the field tonight at Nashville. I don't believe it's the smallest field we've had. We had, I think, 26 a couple races ago too. So 26 makes for some more intimate racing, a little bit closer quarters, and maybe a little bit less chaos and carnage for the most part. So tonight should be an excellent night for racing here in ITZR in the Zone Racing ARCA. Try to give you the play-by-play under qualifying here in just a short moment. We'll kind of do hot potato through the field, seeing who's has the fast laps at given times and try to catch them. Fight for that pole position. Alrighty. So our ARCA drivers get lined up for qualifying here tonight. And let's hop on with Daniel Pope II, who's kind of in a, wouldn't say a must-win situation, but definitely needs to have a good race here tonight. Sitting right around the cut line can be nerve-wracking to be sitting there on the cut line. And the Sigma presentation of the race here tonight being the final cut is pretty spot on. It's a big race for these drivers to be right on the cut line, the final cut, making it into the next round of the season with the playoffs. And Daniel Pope gets a lap in. He's second fastest at 30.17 seconds, but that pales in comparison to the 29.85 set by Dylan Schreiner. Looks like Kiernan Church is waiting a little bit longer to go out. Mike Alexander just jumped to the top at a 29.80. That's getting close to where the practice times were just a little while ago. Eric Tracy just jumped up with a 29.76. And that was your fastest time so far. He's going to be one and done, it looks like. He turned the quick lap and pulled it onto the apron to park it. And so now here's another driver that's going to be fighting for his playoff rights here tonight, the 28 of Corey Bigley. He's been consistent, top 10s. As long as he gets a good finish here tonight, another top 10 could probably keep him alive in that playoff conversation. Mike Alexander with his second lap jumped to the top at a 29.75. So 2 wins on the season already for Mike Alexander, and he's trying to start up front here again. Corey Bigley, only a 29.90. Good for 11th fastest. We'll see if he can maybe turn a faster lap second time around here. In the meantime, Brady Weileman jumps to the top at a 29.72. Dylan Bates is out there right now. We'll jump to him as soon as we finish Corey Bigley's lap. Corey Bigley jumps up to 4th fastest with a 29.77. Here we go. This may be the last threat for pole position if Kieran Church isn't up top the board yet. Dylan Bates, first lap, a 30.66. That's rough. He's going to have to knock down nearly a whole second on his second lap to get up to the top. Rolling through turn 3 on the exit of turn 4. I'm thinking Dylan Bates might be good enough for about a top 10 start here tonight. Oh, and he made a fool of myself. He jumped to the top of the board, a 29.72. Goes to show you, can't underestimate some drivers, especially your current points leader. He had to knock off a whole second to get that lead on the second lap there. That was a missile of a second lap there. And it looks like there's only 2 other cars not yet to qualify, and they may just sit at the back, take the back of the field here tonight. Elliot Carlson coming back out. It looks like he turned a lap earlier, disconnected, and now he's going to go for a second one. And looks like we lost him on the feed there. Oh, that's the end of qualifying for it, folks. And so here we go. To no further avail, the starting lineup for tonight's race here from Nashville Super Speedway, brought to you by Sigma, the final cut. And also Islander Inn. Go ahead and check out the details on the Facebook page for Islander Inn and the Nauti Perch if you're a local in the area over there. I'll have to school myself up more on the primary brands that are sponsoring the series here. But I was getting a little bit sidetracked. I wanted to give the names, I wanted to promote the sponsors and all that. Now it's time for the drivers. We've got the starting lineup here tonight. Dylan Bates and Brady Weileman, your top 2 starters. Followed by the Canadian Mike Alexander alongside Eric Tracy. Corey Bigley, top 5 qualifying position alongside Jacob Boehm. Oh, and I was mistaken. Matthew Barkhouse, there's our second Canadian. He must have snuck in there a couple other moments ago. I didn't notice that we had the second Canadian on the starting lineup there. My bad. Daniel Pope the second starting alongside Barkhouse. And then you got Cody Boehm, Kieran Church, Shane Klein, and Larson Parker. Starting 13th, it's Dylan Schreiner. 14th, Bill Tomer. 15th, Tyler Rice. 16th, A.J. Rogers. 17th, Jeff By Jr. 18th, Elliot Carlson. Tim Weinrich. William Griffith. Rick Rube. David Hill. Aaron Abendroth. Caleb Hill. Josh Oswald, and Jason Lottridge rounding out the field here tonight. So yeah, Dylan Bates definitely shocked the field there with that second lap, knocking out a heater of a qualifying lap to take pole position here tonight. I do believe we're going to get rolling right here. No warm-up laps or anything. 1 half lap, and then we're rolling here today at Nashville Super Speedway. We're going for 100 laps here tonight, and it's green in ITZR ARCA Racing action. So rolling into the first turn, it's got Brady Weileman on the outside, Dylan Bates on the inside. Weileman keeping it stuck up high there, running down the backstretch now. It looks like the 88's going to have the advantage rolling into turn 3. He's going to slide down in front of Bates. Bates simply just happy to settle into second for now. Mike Alexander up into third. Corey Bigley up to fourth. I do feel like Corey Bigley could be a dark horse pick here tonight. Would be more enticing to roll into the playoffs with momentum over pointing your way in. And as for your current leader, Brady Weileman, he's had kind of an up and down season so far. Brady Weileman's missed a few races. He sits 22nd in the points. So he would be one of those must-win scenarios here tonight. 22nd in the points. A win would probably not even point his way in. And I'm pretty sure it's the win and you're in scenario. So he should be locked in, but I mean, I might need to do my double checking, fact checking on that. Already 4 laps into the racing action, and Weileman is driving away at the front of the field. Matthew Barkhouse in 5th there, flying the colors of Cinnamon Toast Crunch, number 19 Mustang. He's currently in front of the 18 of Larson Parker. And a group of 4 cars there. It looks like pretty good battle for about 7th position, 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th. Tyler Rice doing what he must to try and get a top 10 to stay in the top 12 in points. Yeah, at this point, the drivers, they're kind of filling out their cars, trying to get things situated for the long haul here. 100 laps. We're probably going to see at least a round of pit stops here tonight. Nashville being about 1.3 miles and change. It's a very unique speedway. They called it Super Speedway because back in the day, anything over a mile was classified as a super speedway. It's not your true super speedway to today's standards, where you have 2.5 mile or usually it's 2 miles or more to classify as a super speedway. I feel like this track, and they kept it that way. It's considered Nashville Super Speedway. It's kind of got its own, I would say more of a blend between something like Atlanta and Darlington. If you were to put 2 tracks together, you would almost get Nashville. And so, yeah, with the distance of this track, these cars haven't run very many long distance tracks like this year. So fuel mileage and strategy will actually kind of factor into this one here tonight. The only other race that we had like that would have been at Atlanta earlier in the season. And with a good, long, healthy green flag run so far to start the race, the drivers are going to get some good fuel numbers, get some good data. Oh, Larson Parker and Tyler Rice made contact there. Fighting for 5th place now. Tyler Rice is moving on up. 5th and 6th on the line right there. Oh, and Tyler Rice got used up. The 18 gets the position for now. Shane Klein on the move, getting in there alongside the number 6 of Tyler Rice. We're watching a good battle here for position. All in the meanwhile, Brady Weileman still driving away with it. And now moving on up into second, it's Mike Alexander. Matthew Barkhouse follows right in line. You got the Canadian duo moving up the field, sitting on the podium right now. And for Dylan Bates, I mean, it is a statistic that you would probably like to keep alive, but at what cost? And tonight, I'm sure he would love to get another top 5 and keep the top 5 streak going, but and the worst case scenario is, you know, you're still locked in from all the races you've had. But it's not worth it to fight when you know these other cars behind you are raring and ready to win the race here tonight. So how much do you give? How much do you take? That is the big question here tonight. If, you know, Dylan Bates knows that he's locked in, don't put himself in a precarious position where he would get in a wreck or something tonight, because he knows he's locked in. It doesn't matter. But you could always approach it the other way too, that it's like, I'm locked in, I'm going to go out there gunning for the wins. So many ways you can look at the same scenario. A 2.2 second lead for Brady Weileman, as these cars are nowhere near the pace that he's putting down. Under race pace, Brady Weileman, his quickest lap was a 29.97. The only other driver that was quicker than that was Shane Klein and Larson Parker, and they're both sitting 5th and 6th in the race order right now. Dylan Bates is settled into 7th right now, which may be a little bit of strategy being played out here, knowing that pit stops and other things might factor in here tonight. So settles in quite a ways off from the lead top 5 there. And now we've even got some lap traffic up front with our leader, Brady Weileman. They get around, he gets around the number 10 there pretty easily. That is Tim Weinrich. Mike Alexander still running in 2nd. Wow, Tyler Rice making some bold moves here. He's going to try to fight for a 3rd place running order right now. He's up to 3rd alongside the 19 of Matthew Barkhouse. I think Tyler Rice has a fire lit under him here tonight. He knows what's on the line, and it ain't going to be good enough to just finish top 10, top 15. He wants to go for it all. Wants to get to the front. Oh, and he got a little bit loose there alongside the 19. That's going to cost him a couple spots. But you got to love to see the He is committing here tonight. He wants to go for it all. He didn't want to simply point his way in. He might want to go out there and find a way to win this one. 80 laps to go. There's still a lot of racing, a lot that can pan out. As Tyler Rice has settled in there. We got Larson Parker looking at trying to take third away from Matthew Barkhouse. When referencing the points, Larson Parker is sitting 7th right now. He hasn't been able to pull it into victory lane yet, but he does have 1 top 5 and 3 top 10s so far this season through 7 races. And we have made it a quarter of the way through the race here tonight without any caution. Well, and could that simply just be a calm before the storm towards the end of this race here today? It's amazing the racing that we've seen so far. We've seen some comers and goers. Tyler Rice has gained 10 spots, followed by Jason Lottridge also has gained 10 spots a little bit further back in the field there. So people are moving up through the field here at Nashville. Even Larson Parker is sitting right there in 4th at the moment. He's up 8 spots here tonight. And look at that, Tyler Rice back in the picture. He's trying to get up into the mix again. They're getting around Rick Rube there, going a lap down. Rick Rube running in 25th at the moment. Just getting his laps in here. Keeping out of trouble. Man, Brady Weileman has taken off to a near 3-second lead over the field. It's going to be interesting to see when pit stops factor in here tonight. If they can get somewhere south of lap 50 and only make it a one-stop race, that, you know, that'll help a little bit so that they don't have to game plan for multiple stops here tonight. Based on previous events here in real life at Nashville, I would say the pit window is probably going to be about lap 60. So, but then if that's the case, you could get in at about lap 40 and try to go off strategy from the rest of the field. So lots going to factor in here on if we can stay green. If we do get a caution, that'll definitely kind of change the strategies a little bit. Getting around the lap traffic here, getting a little bit uncomfortable for a few of those drivers there. Matthew Barkhouse, he's dealing with Josh Oswald as he's trying to go around him a lap down. Larson Parker right there as well, getting by Josh Oswald in the 17. Tyler Rice clears both the lap traffic as well. And that is the 09 of Elliott Carlson as well. That's the other lap down car that was mixing it up with them. I gotta give kudos to Tyler Rice. He's actually putting on top 5 pace here tonight, which we have not seen from him yet the previous 6 weeks. Brady Weileman's opened it up a little bit more. 3.5 seconds now over Mike Alexander in second. Actually, I guess I'm looking at that wrong. He's only 3 seconds ahead of Mike Alexander. There we go, Larson Parker making a move for 3rd place here. You do gotta wonder about Brady Weileman if he gets if he's burning through his tires or burning through his gas quicker, if there's any disadvantage to him leading by such a margin here is yet to be seen. But we're just not showing much of him because he's so far gone at the moment. His least favorite thing right now would be for any caution to come out, because if this race stays green from flag, green to checkers, green all the way, man, he's going to be a tough one to beat. Well, since Larson Parker got by Matthew Barkhouse, Dylan Bates has started to move back through the field here. But it might just be because some folks have already pitted past lap 40, it looks like. So I might have been pretty close to accurate when I assumed 40 would kind of open the pit stop strategies. And of one of those people, Tyler Rice, the first few to stop down pit road. Let's say we have a crash. Let me go jump to that real quick. Crashed on pit road, maybe. I don't know about that one, but looks like a retirement maybe for the 20 of Shane Klein. Didn't have a bad race going, but looks like he had something go wrong. So we'll maybe get more updates if we can on what exactly happened in the number 20 there. But Tyler Rice has since pitted, fallen back to lap down at the moment. The other drivers up the front still leading are probably going to try to push it to about lap 60. Or even lap 50 would be perfect right down the middle, meaning you can get equal run on both sets of tires, going from 50 at the start to 50 at the end. Brady Weileman has a 4-second lead over Mike Alexander now, so we'll see. The one thing that could always change up this race is a late race caution. We've got some more takers down pit road. A lot of people not waiting to go much longer. Fall off is not that bad here at the track. Between his fast lap to the lap that he just ran, Brady Weileman is only about half second off the pace. So not seeing where tires are going to make that big of a push here tonight. A lot of times tracks like this, tires would be huge, but it's just not looking to be as big of a deal here at Nashville tonight. The fall off is not enough. Dylan Bates on pit road, it looks like, or is he? Yep, he's back on track there. So it's kind of hard to gauge right now where everyone's running based on the pit stop strategies and all that's unfolding at the moment. Well, it looks like Brady Weileman is finally taking it down pit road. He led the first 52 laps here tonight. Makes his pit stop there on lap 52. That hands the lead over to Mike Alexander at the moment. He might try to push it as deep as he can so that he just makes a quick gas and go on pit road. Obviously, he'll have to take tires, I'm sure, but it'll be a little quicker, a little bit less fuel they need to put in the car, getting to lap 60 versus pitting on lap 40, where you have to fill her up really good. Well, they're definitely pushing it long here. And at the moment, we only have 8 cars. Make that 7 cars now that the 03 of Lottridge is right on the edge of going a lap down. That would leave us with 7 cars on the lead lap under this long green flag run that has pretty much spanned the entire race so far. This is what you would call the danger zone for anyone else that has pitted to try and get ahead of the game. Mike Alexander's really pushing it here, hoping for maybe a caution. Man, the tires are getting away from him. It looks like he slid through that turn. He's dropped by about 8/10 now on his lap times. So the tire degradation is really factoring in on the long end of this run. So after getting by Lottridge there, that leaves us with 7 cars on the lead lap. Of the 7 that are on the lead lap, it's Mike Alexander, Matthew Barkhouse, Eric Tracy, Corey Bigley, Daniel Pope, Kieran Church, and Aaron Abendroth. Right there, you got the 03 of Jason Lottridge, 1 lap down. Brady Weileman on fresh from the pit stop, coming back through the field now. Might have been clued in on this one. I had no idea, but perhaps it is a non-tire race. And so the drivers may just simply go in and get gas and run all the way on the tires that they've got. So looking at Brady Weileman, his lap times are still very indicative of the tire wear that you would see on 61 laps, the tire wear here. As with Elliott Carlson, he's up into the 30.55 second. That's a quick time if he's run with his tires this whole time. Maybe he's kind of saved them for a good run here later in the race. Some takers down pit road. Oh, Mike Alexander, he's staying out another lap, but maybe he missed the pits. Not doing well. That might cost him here tonight. I'm thinking those tires are getting to him a little bit. Now he's going to get to the pit road, but yeah, missed opportunity or something went awry for the 75. Matthew Barkhouse is staying out, still leading. Brady Weileman back on the lead lap in 7th place. Well, he's going back a lap down as Matthew Barkhouse makes it 3 wide with him and Jason Lottridge. Matthew Barkhouse looking to try and put us with 5 cars on the lead lap here. A lot of these drivers probably sweating bullets that a caution doesn't come out. It's gonna be close. 4 cars left on the lead lap, and here we go. The 19's pulling down pit road finally. And that should kind of bring a lot of the leaders back up to the front. We'll see if Daniel Pope pits this time. Yep, he's pitting. Now, Kieran Church is pitting as well. That will cycle us back to Brady Weileman as the race leader. Well, I guess not so quick. Because, yeah, there we go. He's cycled back to the lead now, so 35 laps to go, 65 laps strong without any caution. It has been a spectacular race here tonight. Clean, calculated, proper racing. These guys and gals are actually, I'm used to commentating my other races where there's a couple gals in the field. I apologize. All the guys in the field here tonight definitely putting on a show. And that was pretty much the opportunity for a lot of the other drivers to try and steal the win away from Brady Weileman here tonight. Was if there were to be a caution, it could have helped trap him a lap down, but unfortunately we're down to just 33 laps to go. There won't be any more pit stops for your leader, Brady Weileman. He should be good to go all the way to the finish. Wow. Even with the miscalculation on pit entry, it looks like Mike Alexander has settled back into second. So, didn't cost him all that much. It looked weird as he had coasted around on the apron of the track. And I thought he lost a lot of time, but evidently had a very stellar pit stop to keep him in second place. However, he is 6.5 seconds back of the lead right now. So, short of a miracle or maybe a caution here at the end, it's going to be hard for him to catch the 88 of Brady Weileman. At the moment, right now, Dylan Bates is 1 spot short of keeping his top 5 streak alive. 7 races in, 7 top 5 finishes. Here tonight, Nashville, he runs 6th place with 29 laps to go. And the next in line for him to catch would be Eric Tracy, who's about 2 seconds ahead of him. So he's got his work cut out for him if he wants to get that top 5 finish yet again. And keep a trend, keep a stat alive that is very unique and very hard to accomplish. You can see here is Eric Tracy in the 66. He's about, I'd say 2 seconds, looks to be about maybe 20 car lengths separating the two of them. Eric Tracy has been very stout this season. Sits 3rd in the points. Has 1 win, 2 top 5s, and 5 top 10s. And so Eric Tracy trying to keep the momentum rolling in his favor to try and catch Dylan Bates. It's going to be hard to catch him for that number 1 points position here tonight. But with the playoffs on the horizon, who knows what will happen. I feel like Matthew Barkhouse is doing what he must to put himself in a playoff berth here tonight. Running 3rd, a podium run. 25, 26 laps left to go. It's getting down to the nitty-gritty. And even 2nd place, not far out of reach for Matthew Barkhouse. His fellow statesman there of Mike Alexander. You can see him. Seeing him and catching him are 2 different things, though. Tyler Rice with an 8th place run here tonight. May very well be just enough for him. Oh, and he's spinning out as soon as no. He goes through the grass. He has to pull on the pit road, come to a complete stop. This might just sink it. Dang, that was, I hate it. I hate it. And I don't want to say I hate it, but man, that sucks. I was just giving him kudos too, and all of a sudden I caught him right as he tail spins down into the grass. And now he's a lap down. Man, what a tough break for Tyler Rice. Had a great run going, and maybe the pressure got to him a little bit there. Unfortunately, no caution came out. The race stays green, and he's going to go 2 laps down, it looks like. So, oh, the 66 gets loose, man. These cars, they are getting unwily as they are getting loose out there. Parker sitting in 4th. Man, you know, if the tires get that unsettled, will Brady Weileman be able to keep his lead all the way to the finish here? Now might be the time to start looking up ahead to our leader and see what kind of laps he's turning here. He is dealing with a little bit of lap traffic, as he has been for most of the second half of the race here. Car doesn't seem too out of control for the 88, but he's already given up some time to Mike Alexander, where he once had a 6-second lead. It's down to 5.8 Oh, he's getting loose. Yeah, he's getting loose. So do not count your eggs. Don't count your chickens before the eggs have hatched, because there's still 20 laps to go here. He's got a 5.5 second lead over Mike Alexander. That is, he's hemorrhaging his lead time at the moment, little by little. Yeah, and that is the hot spot right there. On the exit of turn 4. Looks like Brady Weileman's cleaned it up a little bit, because Mike Alexander hasn't gained as much last couple laps. But Mike Alexander looks like he got by the lap traffic there, the 3 of David Hill. And he's got clean track ahead of him again, trying to cut into that 5.4 second lead that Brady Weileman holds. Matthew Barkhouse still sits in 3rd. Eric Tracy in 4th. And, well, lo and behold, Dylan Bates up into the top 5 here tonight. He finally picked it off one by one, trying to keep that top 5 streak alive. I'm not afraid of giving the commentators jinx on that one. I'm giving Dylan Bates all the credit where credit is due. He has been a wheelman this season. And that puts Larson Parker back to 6th. Corey Bigley sits in 7th. Cody Boehm 8th. Dylan Schreiner 9th. And Daniel Pope the 2nd. Still with a top 10 run here tonight. We've got 14 cars on the lead lap. And 12 cars a lap down or more. Tyler Rice, that might be the heartbreak moment of the night here for Tyler Rice. Had a top 10 run. At times a top 5 run going, but unfortunately is trapped a couple laps down now. After spinning on the exit of turn 4, cost him any shot at a top 10, top 15, or even a top 20 at the moment. Dylan Bates gets by Eric Tracy for 4th. Man, don't count Dylan Bates out. He's got about 9 seconds to gain on the leader, however, but he's picking them off with ease at the moment. Eric Tracy not done with him, though. These two might start battling for 4th. Oh, and that was a good run from the 66. It looks like he's going to have the momentum going into turn 1 here. He had to let off. Mad kudos to the drivers out there tonight. We have gone green since the start. No cautions. This is perfect racing here on a Monday night in Nashville. I've always been a fan of Nashville Super Speedway, and it's because it provides with good races like this one. And it's been a great one here tonight. So with In the Zone Racing ARCA, they do a throwaway race. So I wouldn't necessarily count Tyler Rice out tonight, because this might be his worst race that gets thrown away. Obviously, on average, there's a few drivers that probably their worst finish has been about a 10th or a 12th. So a 24th here tonight might still sink Tyler Rice's hopes, but we'll have to wait and see until the points get tallied for sure. Mike Alexander has shrunk the lead down to 4.9 seconds to Brady Weileman. Brady Weileman with about what will be 10 laps to go now. He put Tyler Rice another lap down. It looks like 3 laps down for Tyler Rice, unfortunately. Here we go, 10 to go. His lead is 4.85 seconds over Mike Alexander. Alexander and Barkhouse, the Canadian duo, running second and third. Dylan Bates, your points leader, running in fourth. And Eric Tracy, the contender, running in fifth. Corey Bigley looks like he might be doing just enough to keep himself in the playoff hunt, as well as Larson Parker, Cody Boehm, and perhaps Daniel Pope II. I'll have to double check on Dylan Schreiner. Yeah, Dylan Schreiner's 10th in the points. Top 10 here tonight. Pretty much seals the deal, I would say, for Dylan Schreiner. The big change would be Matthew Barkhouse, who sits 12th in the points. He'll jump scotch quite a few people. Daniel Pope, he's going to end up jump scotching over Tyler Rice. That could put Tyler Rice at 12th in the standings. But with Jacob Boehm in the field, Jacob Boehm running 11th, Tyler Rice could get dropped back to at least 14th. So alrighty, the lead is shrunk again a little bit. 4.2 seconds now, the gap for Mike Alexander to make up with just 7 laps to go. These drivers' tongues will be hanging out here tonight as they've put in 93 laps of green flag racing without much break in between. They had a pit stop. That was about the only break they got, was a brief intermission sitting on pit road waiting for the fuel to enter the fuel cell. And there we go. Mike Alexander knocked off another chunk. It's down to 3.6 seconds. Is he going to have enough time? Or is Brady Weileman simply dangling the carrot to try and let Mike Alexander think he's got a chance? It looks like Weileman's car might be getting gone here. That is not looking very fast at the moment. He is simply trying to soldier it home as the tires have gotten away. He's put on a show here tonight, folks. If he can hold on for 5 more laps, he will earn it the hard way. Leading nonstop, putting the throttle to the ground, driving that thing like he stole it. We are sub 3 seconds now, the gap for the lead. 2.6 seconds, 2.5. 4 laps to go, and he's knocking off about a second a lap at the moment. Mike Alexander's already got 2 wins on the season, but why not go for 3 and help your playoff berth, your playoff seeding going into the next round? You can see the black and the pink nose of that number 75 lurking in the background like a shark in water. 3 laps remaining. The gap is now 1.9 seconds. For Brady Weileman, it is a must win. He needs the win here today to help secure a spot in the playoffs. And so a second would not be enough. He ain't going to point his way in. He needs a win. As tonight is the final cut. 2 laps and the gap is down to 1.2 seconds. He's holding on for dear life, folks. 1.2 seconds the gap now. We're going to be green from green to checkers here today as the white flag's going to be waving for Brady Weileman. 1 more lap to go here from Nashville, folks. The final lap, 1 second is the gap. Brady Weileman's got a couple lap cars helping him out here. Is Tyler Rice going to play nice, or will he get around at the end here? Looks like he's going to play nice for now. Coming through turn 3. Exiting turn 4. Mike Alexander made it look interesting, folks. And Brady Weileman soldiers it home to take the victory here for tonight's race. The final cut presented by Sigma at Nashville Super Speedway. Man, what a race. A dominant performance from Weileman, but it didn't come without a little bit of adversity, a little bit of drama at the end there. And just through and through, great racing here tonight. Our first ITZR race that went green from start to finish. That is impressive, folks. Great night of racing. Congratulations to all those that raced it clean here tonight. Put on a great show. And for those that have secured their spot in the playoffs, it's going to be an interesting playoff season. As he burns it down on the front stretch, Brady Weileman should be locked into the playoffs. Moving on, looking for a title now. Wow, at the end there, Matthew Barkhouse dropped to 5th, and Dylan Bates jumped up to 3rd. So kind of a little bit of shuffling at the end of the race here tonight. Puts Dylan Bates with a 3rd, Mike Alexander 2nd, and Brady Weileman your winner. Eric Tracy came home 4th, Matthew Barkhouse 5th, Corey Bigley 6th, Daniel Pope II come home 7th. Cody Bame, Dylan Schreiner, and Larson Parker rounding out your top 10. Jacob Bame, AJ Rogers, Kieran Church, William Griffith, and David Hill, the top 15. And so let's go ahead and interview our 3rd place driver, Dylan Bates. Coming home tonight with a 3rd place podium finish. Dylan Bates brings it home. How are you feeling here tonight, Dylan Bates?
A little frustrated with myself. I think I would have won that one pretty handedly had I not spun out entering pit road. How I got that spun back around and still managed to get back to 3rd, I don't know. But oh well. Got the points lead headed into the playoffs, so nothing to be mad about.
Well, and you keep a top 5 streak that has gone the whole season long. 8 now, 8 top 5 straight. So that's an impressive stat to be rolling into the playoffs with. How do you feel with the next track on the schedule?
What is the next track on the schedule?
Let me go ahead and pull up the calendar real quick here. I know that I've been trying to keep up, and I'll fall behind a few times here. The next race on the calendar will be Bristol. So
that's gonna be a tough one. That's gonna be a lot about qualifying, I think, and just trying to stay out front. So it's a really hard place to pass, and just with the progressive banking and everything, it's gonna be really hard on tires. So it's gonna be about track position there and just staying out of wrecks.
yeah, and that's like anything at Bristol is kind of like that. So I believe you 100% there.
For sure.
But yeah, I guess I was trying to get figured out. Were y'all on one set of tires for the whole race?
No tires, just fuel.
Just feel so you had to run with the tires that you started on.
Yep, all race.
Okay, yeah, no, and it made for some exciting racing there at the end, watching the cars slip slide around, and yeah, you managed to bring it home 3rd. That was awesome. Is there
Yeah.
any sponsors, friends, family you want to thank here tonight?
No, just all the guys at Velocity Motorsports.
Alrighty. Well, congratulations on the regular season championship. I know it's not much, but now go have fun fighting for the real title.
That's right. We'll take it.
Have a good night.
Thanks.
And coming home second tonight, we have the Canadian Mike Alexander. And we'll go ahead and bring him up into the booth here. Alrighty, well, Mike Alexander, do you copy?
Yeah, I got you.
How was that race tonight? Did you have fun out there?
It wasn't too bad. I mean, I expected it to be a lot worse. I wasn't. These tracks, the big tracks, are not my forte by any means, and wasn't expecting a whole lot tonight. I've never raced here before, so I didn't know. I didn't know how much tire I was supposed to save, or I knew I'd have to save some tire, but I wasn't sure how much. And but it wasn't too bad. Like I didn't really mind it. I guess if I would have finished worse, I probably would have hated it a lot more.
Well, yeah, you managed to save almost enough tire there at the end because you were making it interesting on Brady Weileman, who had a near 8-second lead at one point, and you wiped that away down to a 1 second deficit by the end of the race. That, it was close. It was really exciting to watch you battle it all the way through the green flag race that we didn't have a single caution here tonight. So everyone should give a nice pat on their back for pulling off that feat here tonight.
Yeah, I was just trying to really manage my right rear, and I figured Brady was gone, and then with about 10 to go, I started noticing on my tracker that I was gaining on him pretty hard. So I knew I had a shot because the amount I was gaining on him, and I don't know if I would have had enough to get to him or not, but that lap car there ran me up the hill a bit into one in the last lap and took any shot of that away. But it is what it is. It was a good run. Congrats to Brady.
Well, and congratulations on second place here for yourself as well. Is there any sponsors, friends, family you want to thank?
Just you guys, like all the In the Zone guys for putting this on. It's a fun place to race. You for doing the broadcasts, and of course, my brother Matt Barkos.
Heck yeah. So we'll see you fighting for the title moving forward here. Have a great night. Stay safe out there.
You too. Thanks a lot.
And so the last one we'll interview here tonight is none other than your race winner, Brady Weileman. Do you copy, Brady?
Yep.
Congratulations on that hard-earned win here tonight. How do you feel?
I'm relieved that it's over. I think I started to lose my right rear there at the end. I was slowing up, and obviously lap traffic with them being right against me, behind me like that, it was causing me to get loose, I think, even more. So I was lucky enough to hold on to that. I'm more used to the bigger style tracks since I race more NASCAR stuff than short tracks. So I think I had a little bit of an edge on these guys, but they all ran great, super clean, and it was a good race.
Yeah, you were pretty much lights out from the start there. You were driving away with it. You had a near 8-second lead at one point, but you pretty much had it calculated. It seemed like to have those tires pretty much get you the run all the way to the finish, and a little bit of kind of extra at the end there just to keep it up front. Uh, I'm not sure because I haven't really gotten any clarification on stuff. The win here tonight does secure your playoff position, correct?
I'm not sure actually, so
Okay, so
uh,
I'm
well,
I'm not the only one in the dark.
yeah, I have no idea. We'll have to see, but hopefully it does.
Yeah, so that's why I was trying to wonder. I was trying to put together the pieces on, whether or not a win and you're in, and well, if the situation was win and you're in, you definitely secured it here tonight. So, But we'll find out probably by next week what you'll be fighting for going forward. Um, how about any friends, family, sponsors you want to thank?
I want to thank CTD Bowling. They have a lot of great bowling products. I want to thank my parents for watching and you guys for broadcasting. Obviously, the guys that make this league run, the ITZR guys, they do a good job here, and I've had a lot of fun in these races so far, so they do a good job.
Well, I must say tonight definitely takes the cake. That was probably the best race yet so far this season. So congratulations on that win. Enjoy it very much.
Thank you.
Have a great night.
Yep, you too.
Well, and that, folks, wraps it up here tonight. Brady Weileman, your winner. Mike Alexander came home second. And your points leader, Dylan Bates. You can see in the picture there, he was closing on the gap as well. So what was an 8-second lead for Brady Weileman turned into a 0.9-second deficit at the line. And Dylan Bates only came he was only about 3 seconds out of the lead. So stellar race here tonight, folks. I really, really am glad that we were able to sponsor this one for the Sigma NASCAR Racing 2003 community. Shout out to the other sponsors of the series, the Nauti Perch, Swim Up Bar, and the Islander Inn. If you're a local watching this race, you'll know exactly where and what places to check out between those two. So other than that, I'm just a Northwest kid shooting it with the Southerners here in this series, and it's fun to watch. I'm excited for every race each week. So thank you, folks, for tuning in. Thank you, Intensity Broadcasting. And we're going to be into the playoffs next week, which will be exciting. So have a great night, everyone. Stay safe out there. And until next time, this is Jakester signing out.